The cell. It is the origin of everything. If we understand it, we will likely understand diseases better. A cell is essentially capable of building a complete organism through cell division, whether for water, where cells become gill cells, fins and Lorenzini ampules, or for air, where they become ocelli, wings, beaks and feathers, or for land, where cells become feet, hands and fingers, such as So let's dive into the universe of the cell and take a brief look at the structure and organization of a simple cell. The complexity of cells is breathtaking and hardly comprehensible. Cells are the smallest living unit of all organisms. In them, mitochondria provide energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate. This allows the numerous organelles of the cell, such as the Golgi apparatus, to perform their functions. Around the nucleus, there is the endoplasmic reticulum, and in the nucleus we find the chromosomes, Humans have 46 chromosomes, while 178 and a chimpanzee have 48. In principle, a chromosome is a continuous strand composed of DNA and nuclear proteins. The core proteins are also known as histones. The DNA, which is also referred to as DNS in German, is wrapped around these histones. DNA is the carrier of hereditary information in a cell. The coding occurs through the individual base pairs and their arrangement. This coding makes a shark and an eagle an eagle. In the human uterus of the mother, a new human develops from a single cell, according to a very specific blueprint that is stored in the DNA. The DNA specifies when, how, and where the cell divides. Liver cells, heart cells, muscle cells, all cells have specific tasks within this network. What one cell cannot do, another cell takes over elsewhere. And when the new organism is ready for birth, a multitude of cells work to bring it into our world. At this point, the organism of the infant consists of about 1 trillion smallest living beings, meaning 1 trillion cells, that continue to divide and thus contribute to the growth of the organism. The adult human consists of approximately 30 trillion cells. From a single cell, countless cells for skin, muscle, bone, vessels, nerves, lymph, organs were formed. Even the simple gene requires the complex interplay of all cells. For example, all muscle cells of the skeletal muscle must be controlled by nerve cells. The heart cells pump oxygen and other nutrients through blood vessel cells to all the cells of the body in 2021. The transport of oxygen is carried out by so-called erythrocytes, which are also referred to as red blood cells. They release oxygen to other cells as needed. Now let's take a look at the role nutrition plays. The formation of red blood cells occurs within our bones, in the bone marrow. The bone marrow consists, among other things, of stem cells that eventually mature into red blood cells with the help of iron, vitamin B, folate, and many other substances within approximately 8 days. Red blood cells are largely composed of hemoglobin. The hemes in hemoglobin contain an iron ion as the central atom. This iron ion can bind to an oxygen molecule and release it when needed. If iron is lacking in our diet, it can lead to microcytic anemia. As a result, only insufficient oxygen can be transported to the remaining cells of the body. In microcytic anemia, the red blood cells are smaller and contain less hemoglobin. In contrast, a deficiency in folate or folic acid leads to the formation of larger, immature blood cells, which are also less capable of absorbing and thus delivering oxygen. In the same way, the various cell types in the human organism require both similar and extremely different nutrients for their functions. Folate or folic acid, vitamin C, biotin, calcium, and iron are just a few of them. From these nutrients and atomic compounds, the cells of our body assemble entirely new substances, such as insulin or gastric acid. This process of building up and breaking down is commonly referred to as metabolism. In order for all cells to perform their functions, they must always be supplied with certain substances. And these substances are found in large quantities in the plants on our earth, such as dandelion. Dandelion floods the body with substances that help the stomach cells produce gastric juice. The liver cells use the components of dandelion to produce bile in the correct mixture and consistency. Dandelion can therefore make a significant contribution to digestion. The kidneys also benefit from dandelion, for example, in the prevention of kidney stones. We supply our body cells with important nutrients, among other things, through the mouth. These supplied nutrients are metabolized or consumed by our cells. If no further nutrients are supplied, a problem arises that we refer to in our culture as disease. A severe deficiency of vitamin C is referred to as scurvy. An extreme deficiency of iron is termed anemia. And a deficiency of magnesium is called hypomagnesemia, respectively. Not only dandelion, but also many other plants contain a lot of vitamin C, iron, and magnesium. For this reason, green smoothies are very popular today, as they can provide our cells with many important nutrients. Folate, which is especially important for pregnant women, is found in green leaves. Hence the name folate comes from the Latin word folium, meaning leaf. Folic acid is the artificially produced form. The green plant pigment chlorophyll is also found here. Its structure is surprisingly similar to that of hemoglobin, which makes up a large part of our blood. Where magnesium is found in chlorophyll, iron is found in hemoglobin. Studies on chlorophyll show positive effects on impure skin and acne. Additionally, chlorophyll is said to show astonishing effects against various types of cancer. It is therefore almost always the right step to use green leaves as a source of nutrients, just as our closest relatives still do today, and as we once did a long time ago. caution is sometimes warranted. Medications such as blood thinners can lead to unwanted effects due to the high vitamin K content in leafy greens. And there are also some plants that can be life-threatening when consumed.